right, so I will demonstrate first. So again, we do want to have the tubing tied about, or attached about doorknob height. So mine's just slightly above the doorknob height, but that's where you want to have it attached to. And then you want the other end loose, and so we're going to do a couple of reps or a couple exercises with just the single arm and with the handle, and then we're going to do a few repetitions and a few exercises that require us to clip this onto the handle and use the ankle brace, and then we'll do some stuff with it around our lower legs. So you also have the option of having a chair nearby, both to help with when we're doing some of the single leg stuff, to aid with some of the balance, and then also if you decide, hey, you don't want to do it standing, we have the option of having you do it seated as well. So the first exercise that we're going to do is going to be a single arm bicep curl. So here you have to walk back quite a bit, and you want to line up to where your center of your chest is lined up with the anchor, and then you're just pulling the hand back, bending at the elbow, keeping tension through this bicep. And we're trying to keep this upper arm fairly parallel to the floor. We're going to do about 8 repetitions each arm. Nice, slow, controlled. And then we'll rotate to the next exercise after doing that. So then we turn around, and here we're going to do a press, and we want the tubing on the outside of our arm, and we want to be slightly off to the side. So now with it going on the outside of my arm, it's lining up with the anchor. So here I can press forward, and that tubing lines up with the arm as I go back, where if I was over here, it'd be rubbing into my arm, or if I was here, there'd be a little bit of space. So you know to line up so that it stays in contact with that forearm. So we'll do a few repetitions with each of those arms, about 8. And here we are trying to keep the arm in close to really work the tricep and the front of the shoulder. So here we are keeping the hand in close to the body as opposed to letting that elbow flare out to the side. So think about really keeping it in towards the body as opposed to out as you do that press. From there, we're going to step to where our shoulders are aligned with the anchor point. Our hands are together, and we're going to push the arms out, and then we're going to walk away. And so right now this is working your lower body, but it's putting a lot more emphasis into your core. So we walk away, hold. We're going to hold this extreme, and then we'll turn around and do the exact same thing, go in the other direction, where we line up our shoulders with the anchor, and then we walk away, hold, and then walk it back to where there's less tension, and then back out. From there, we will move to placing this around your ankle. So this is where it's nice to have the chair. And here, we're going to turn and face away, and we're going to stand up tall and take that leg forward, and then let it go back. And if you want to make it more of a balance exercise, you can stand without holding on as that leg kicks forward. Then we'll switch. Actually, so then what we're going to do is turn sideways, and we're going to step out. You're going to step out and back in. Step out, and letting it go back in, you're controlling it. So we're going to do the hip flexion right into the abduction, and then we'll switch the legs after we do both. So then we'll switch. And so here, again, we're just leg is straight, taking that leg forward. If you need to hang on, you certainly can. As that goes back, bring it forward. And then once you do that, then we'll move to the other side. And here, we're just stepping out, resist it, coming back. Step out, resist it, coming back. So here I'm just stepping out. That's going to work these outer part of the glutes. From there, we will sit back down. We'll remove the ankle brace, set it aside, move back to standing, and we're going to do a fly. So here, we're just bringing the arm in front, then back out to the side. Bring it back, squeeze that arm towards the middle, try to keep that elbow straight. And then we'll switch to the other side. Arm is out to the side, bringing it up in front, back out to the side. So there we're just doing a little fly motion. So we're going to aim for about 8 repetitions. For the ones that we're doing the reps, for the lateral walks for the core, we're going to do 3 about 8 or 10 count holds. So we'll go ahead and get ready for our single arm bicep or single arm elbow flexion. So here we're facing the anchor. We've got it split right down the middle. We're going to do 8 repetitions per side. Get a nice squeeze, and then relax it as you go back down. We're also challenging, is your body okay maintaining this position? Do you have the shoulder stability? Is your shoulder okay being in this position? How does your back feel? We're loading one side. About 3 more repetitions. Nice gentle squeeze of the muscles. 2 more. And then we'll switch to the other side. Again, you're facing the anchor, squeezing back. And we'll switch to the other side. Again, we're trying to maintain your upper arm. It doesn't move. Can you feel the side of your back that your arm is moving? That side of your back should be working a little harder to maintain square shoulders. About 3 more. Get a good squeeze. Can you maintain that shoulder position? Alright, so there we're lining up at the center of your spine with the anchor. Now we want to line up offset so that your arm is lined up with the anchor, so the outside. So right now the tubing is running along the outside of the arm, around the edge. We walk to where there's tension, and then from here you're pressing forward and back. You're trying to keep the elbow in close as you press forward and back, really working the front of your shoulder and the tricep. When you're going back, the arm is down low. When you press forward, it goes up, elevates. Do about 3 more. Is the rest of your body staying nice and still, not moving? Okay, then we'll switch to the other arm. We move off to the other side. So now I'm doing my left arm, so I'm standing off to the right just a little bit. Walk to where there's tension, and then you're pressing the arm forward. How does it feel through your torso? Halfway. All right, so now we want to line up where the anchor point is lined up with your shoulders as you are standing perpendicular to the anchor. You're going to grip your hands over the top of the handle. We're going to press those hands away from the body. We're going to walk away laterally. Hold for about a 10 count. You should really feel this through your rib cage. Walk it back. And then step out again, creating more tension. Try to keep those hands directly in front of your shoulders. They want to rotate back. You try to hold them right here. Hands slightly below the shoulders. Walk it back. Decreasing that tension on the tubing. And once again, we'll step out. Holding here, you kind of lean into the balls of the feet. It's easy to start leaning back onto the heels. Trying to keep a little bit more load through the front, through your abdominal area, obliques. Walk it back. We'll turn around and do the other direction. So again, line up that shoulder, press those hands out, walk laterally, hold, lean into the balls of the feet just a little bit more to target more of your obliques. Walk it back, decreasing that tension, back out. Walk it back, and again. And walk it back. All right, so now we're going to move to placing the ankle brace on the ankle cuff. So then we clip it onto the handle. We move this to around your lower leg, close to the ankle. And then you want to make sure not to get too tangled into it. You can either maintain your balance, you can hang onto the chair. Here we're doing repetitions where we're taking the leg forward and then slowly let it go back. Let it go forward. We're just keeping that knee straight. We're not forcing it to go further than you can take it nice and comfortably. You can do 4 with changing the foot and ankle position. Okay, we're going to stay with that same ankle, same leg. So now we want the strap. It's going to go across the front of the leg. We're going to step out. And then as you step back in, we want to resist that tubing. So step out. And then as you bring it back in, hold that leg out. So this leg that we're standing on is getting a lot of work for that glute. So just nice, slow, controlled. You step out and then return it back, controlling that return. Step out. One more. All right. Now we switch to the other leg. And so again here, we've got our standing hip flexion. So we're standing away. The anchor is at the back. So now your front of the leg is getting pulled backwards and you have to work to push the leg forward. Can you maintain your balance? It's okay to hang on. Nice smooth repetitions. Get a good pause in each of the extremes. All right, now we're going to step. So when you step, I want to make sure that this tubing is running in front of the leg that you're going to be standing on. We're going to step out. And then when you step back, resist that tubing. Step out, step back. So we're just doing like a one step, taking this foot off the ground, bringing it back. Again, hang on to that chair. Step out, the feet are apart when there's the most tension. And then you just step back, let it go back, resist that leg moving back. One more. All right, so then we'll move to the fly. So go ahead and remove the ankle brace or the cuff. Then we're going to grab with the inside arm, the hand closest to the tubing. We want to, again, make sure that your shoulders lined up with the inside. We're going to bring that hand out in front, keeping the arm straight. It's going out in front, and then let it pull that back up to the side. Get a good squeeze. Just squeezing through this front side of the chest and the shoulder, doing a single arm fly. Nice smooth movement. Again, trying to lean onto the front of your feet, keeping your feet even and flat on the floor, but it's easy when we start doing these single arm things to start leaning back. Now we'll move to the other side. And squeeze towards the middle. Get a good pause. Let it pull you back outside. Squeeze against that tubing. Let it pull you back out. Just nice squeeze, let it pull you back out, and then bring it right back out in front again. And relax. All right. Take a brief break and then we'll jump into our second round, starting again with the single arm elbow flexion. All right. So again, now when we're facing, we want to be lined up right down the center of our spine. We want to walk back to where you feel like there's a decent amount of tension to start with. So when you first start initiating this elbow flexion, there's already tension. And then you want to squeeze that bicep again. We're going to go about 8 repetitions per arm. Can you keep the upper arm nice and stable? Halfway. How does that back feel? Can you feel it through your ribs on the back side of your body? And then we'll switch to the other arm. All right, here we go. Switch to that other hand and arm. Get in position. Keep that core nice and tight. Two more. All right, now for this pressing motion, again, we want to keep that arm in close to the body and press through here as we face it away. We want to make sure that this arm is aligned with the anchor, so we're going to be off to the side. So since I'm doing my left arm, I'll be off to the right a little bit, pressing up. And then as it moves back down, the forearm stays parallel to the floor. But as I press up and forward, my arm elevates. And then as I go back down, I lower that arm and forearm, press back out. Keep that core nice and stable. Countering the rotation because you're offset a little bit. The tubing does want to rotate you and you're countering that, which requires you to use your core musculature a little bit more. We'll do one more. Okay, we'll switch sides. Okay, again, walking off now. I'm doing the right arm, so I'm going to walk off to the left side. Walk forward, and then you press up and forward. Are you aware of things happening through your feet? Three more. So this is working your core going forward, again working more of the front abdominals. Now we're going to do the lateral walk. So here we want to start with your hands side by side or over the top and elbows in tight, hands close to the body. We're going to push those hands out as we stand with the inside shoulder aligned with the anchor. We're going to walk out. We're going to hold here. Hold those hands slightly below the shoulders. We don't want them up high. We're going to walk it back. Then walk it back out, creating that tension. If you want a little bit more, you can walk out a little bit further. Think about gripping your feet and toes into the floor. Keep those elbows extended. Walk it back till there's no tension or less tension. And then walk it back for our final third hold. Again, gripping the floor with your toes if you can. And then relax, walk it back. Okay, we'll turn. Again, we got this inside shoulder. We got our hands at the center of our chest. We press out. We're going to walk away. Again, hands lower than your shoulders, not at level or above. Then walk it back. Walk it back out. Go a little bit more tension if you want, work the core. Step back into less tension, final step out. Holding it nice and steady. And relax. All right, now we're going to move to the ankle once again, the lower body. So we're going to place this ankle strap around the handle with the carabiner, then place it around the leg. We're going to stand and you're going to walk forward till there's a little bit of tension. And then we're going to do 8 repetitions, taking that leg in front, keeping that knee straight. It's okay to hang on. You can feel it all through the front part of your core and chest. Nice smooth motion. Two more. Okay, now we're going to stand. So here, as I turn to make sure that the outside leg is the one that's attached to the tubing, I have to step over so that it runs in front of the leg that I'm standing on. Here I'm going to step out, there's tension, and then I'm going to slowly let that leg return back. Step out, create tension, and then hold that leg in the air as I return it back. Step out. If that's too tough, I can drag that foot back. Step out. Again, you can hang on to the chair. Even using the chair legs as a nice visual of how far you're stepping out each time. All right, now we'll switch to the other leg. Again, being okay to sit down to make these changes. You don't want to get yourself all tangled up and trip. All right, so here we are standing up nice and tall. Again, you can hang on to the chair. We're taking the leg forward. Excellent job. Can you keep that knee straight? And then you're going to step down. We're going to step over. So that again, that this tubing runs in front of the leg that we're standing on. We're going to step out and then resist it back in. Step out. Resist it back in. Just a nice step out, create the tension, and then resist that leg going back and right back out. So you're going to feel it a lot on the leg that you're standing on because it's not getting a break. One more. Control the return. And then sit down. We'll remove this. For our final exercise, the single arm fly. So again here, anytime that there's tension on the band or the tubing, we want to make sure that your arm starts with it bent. You don't want to have really long levers that can put a lot of tension and stuff into your shoulders. So make sure that when you're first grabbing and moving around that you're keeping your arms a little bit closer to your body and that you hold a little less tension on the tubing. All right, so here what we're going to do is arm out straight. You're going to let that pull you out to the side. A good way to find out where tension is having your arm across your body, walk to where you can't feel like you hold it anymore, and then let it pull you back out. And then try to return back to that position, keeping that arm straight. And so I am just thinking about taking the inside of my hand across towards my other arm. If they're hugging towards each other, my arms were trying to magnetize towards each other. All right, we'll switch to the other side. Final set for today. Again, Get that hand to the middle, walk to where you feel like there's tension, and then let it take you back out. Three more. Nice, smooth. You got to keep that arm straight as you go across the body. Can you feel that tension getting created? And relax. All right. Excellent job. We'll do that